We're back at it once again, everyone. We're here to talk about Smackdown Live. I'm a lot calmer today. After yesterday's incident. Again, I do apologize for my little rant, but it was needed. It was needed, but I'm not going to get back into any details on that. We're going to put that behind us. We're going to talk about Smackdown Live. And there were actually a bit of positives and a bit of negatives. There were a bit of both on SmackDown today. So the show started off with Shane McMahon in his town hall, where he's got all the wrestlers out there, and they're sharing their opinions, like, do they think Shane's doing a good job, or do they agree with Kevin Owens? So you had you had all the baby faces on one side and the heels all on the other side. We saw the return of Charlotte. We saw finally the debut of Liv Morgan and Buddy Murphy. Those three finally got some TV time. Well, Charlotte hasn't been seen since Money in the Bank. So that's one thing here, and then at the end of this town hall thing, this just led to Cesaro coming out, telling Shane that he has to get ready for his rematch against Aleister Black. And also, Kevin Owens came out of nowhere and delivered a stunner. Seriously? I mean, Shane barred Kevin Owens from the arena. He banded him from the arena. Do you really think that's going to work again? Come on, Shane? Seriously? You think that's going to work a second time? You tried that last week. It didn't work. So he does the exact same thing again, and the same thing happens to him. So this whole town hall thing, or whatever this bloody thing was, it was basically the baby faces agreeing with Kevin Owens and the heels disagreeing. They think Shane does a good job. One of them that I kind of didn't like was Buddy Murphy's. He said along the lines of is that he does not like Kevin Owens mentioning fighting his own battles, and he wishes Kevin Owens would keep his name out of his mouth. The reason why I didn't like that is because I know Buddy Murphy's a heel, and yes, he's Australian, so of course I am a big fan of him. But I wasn't a fan of it because I thought, why is he defending Shane? Again, I know he's a heel, but why is Shane defending the guy that has pretty much stopped him from being on TV since the Superstar Shakeup? So, I guess, is he trying to fight, so I don't understand that. I thought that was a bit silly. But Liv Morgan, on the other hand, she's now a babyface. And I am super happy about that. I really am. So anyway, we'll get into the first match, and that was Aleister Black and Cesaro. Aleister Black got the win. It wasn't better than their match at Extreme Rules, but it was a good match nonetheless. Then we had Charlotte and Liv Morgan compete in a singles match. Charlotte Flair got the win, tapped out Liv Morgan. I'm a big Charlotte fan, but I'm going to tell you guys, I am not a fan of Charlotte winning. Not a fan of her winning. Charlotte needs to start putting over younger talent. I was speaking to a lot of people on Twitter about this, the people that are actually nice and respectful to my opinions, and I think Charlotte needs to start putting people over. She's at 9 women's title reigns. 4 years in. 4 years into her full... She's like 4 years in her career. And she's a 4-time champion. You can afford her. You can afford to have her lose matches. And also, you can afford to have her not in the title picture for a couple of years. The one thing that I don't like about Charlotte, and this is the reason why people don't like Charlotte, it's not because of her long blonde hair. It's not because of her blonde hair. It's not because of that. The thing that people don't like about Charlotte, and I actually did make a video on this a while ago, maybe about months ago, and that was saying that Charlotte is basically a carbon copy of Ric Flair. She's a rip-off of Ric Flair. That's the reason why people aren't a big fan of Charlotte. If Charlotte had her own gimmick, like the one she had in NXT, if she had her own gimmick, people would like her more. So, that's the one thing I definitely don't like about Charlotte, that she's basically a carbon copy of Ric Flair. So, there are some issues. But I do wish Charlotte would start putting talent over. Starting with Liv Morgan. So, that's my opinions on that. Next we had Fire and Desire, Mandy and Sonya. They compete in a tag team match against Ember Moon and a partner of her choice. And the partner of her choice ended up being Bayley. And Ember Moon eclipses Mandy Rose for the win. What's that excuse that everybody uses? Blondes get everything. Mandy Rose is a blonde. And here she is. For a second time in 2 weeks, she gets squashed again. Ember Moon has been squashed twice in 2 weeks by Ember Moon. By Ember Moon. Look, I love Ember Moon. I think Ember Moon is a great talent. She has a lot of potential to be a big superstar. And she's got that chance at SummerSlam. She's going to SummerSlam. Bayley gave Ember Moon a challenge for her title at SummerSlam. And trust me, I'm looking forward to it. I hope Ember Moon wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. I hope she does. But again, Mandy Rose got squashed again. I'm sick and tired of people saying blondes get everything. Sick and tired of people saying Vince always pushes the blondes. If Vince always pushed the blondes, Mandy Rose would be getting title shots every single month. She'd be winning matches every single week. She'd be on television every single week. Bullshit, man. Mandy Rose, Vince, I'm convinced that Vince does not like Mandy Rose. I'm convinced. If he really did like her, he would push her. But he doesn't. So I'm not convinced that Vince likes Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is another great talent that WWE is ruining. Same thing with Sonya Deville. Sonya's talented too. These two women need to be competing for the tag team championships. Oh my god, man. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. Feel bad for Mandy though. Feel bad for her. But yeah, Bayley gave Ember Moon a nice big challenge for SummerSlam. And I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to Bayley versus Ember Moon. Daniel Bryan had his major announcement, but the New Day hijacked it, so Daniel Bryan didn't really say anything. What a waste of time to hype us up for what he was going to say. Which led to Samoa Joe, Elias, and Randy Orton all hitting the scene, all demanding a shot at the WWE Championship. Samoa Joe, why are you coming out saying you want a title shot? You lost at Extreme Rules. Also, Elias, what have you done to truly deserve a WWE Championship match? And as for me boy, Randy Orton, we really haven't seen much of him since Super Showdown. He's my boy, so of course I'm going to defend him. But I will be honest, we really haven't seen him since Super Showdown. Yes, he was on Raw last week. Not last week. Yes, he was on Raw yesterday, fighting for an opportunity for the Universal Championship, which makes no sense. But at the end of the day, these three guys all came out saying they want a title shot, which led to a 6-man tag. Thank God, not 2 out of 3 falls or elimination. See, this is the one thing that SmackDown's doing right. They're not doing these bullshit angles to get to a commercial break. They're not doing any of this bullshit to get to the commercial break. So, that's one thing I actually am appreciating for SmackDown. No elimination matches, no 2 out of 3 fall bullshit. Get the matches out of the way. That's what Monday Night Raw should be doing. Just having the matches. Let them do what they have to do within 5-10 minutes, and then you get the commercial break. Not that difficult. So anyway, Randy Orton pins Kofi Kingston, and my boy, Randy Orton, successfully pins Kofi Kingston, and Randy Orton could be in line for the WWE Championship. And at this point, do it. Have Randy Orton take on Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam. To me, that is a money match. I know I said I wanted Black versus Orton, but does it look like they're doing Black versus Orton? Also, I said I would not mind if they waited it out a couple of years. Maybe they want to build Aleister Black up. That's one thing I said. You can put the title on Randy Orton. You can build Aleister Black up. Possibly have Aleister Black win the Royal Rumble, challenge Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Wouldn't that be good? Give Aleister Black a lot of wins on big pay-per-views. Make him the sole survivor of Survivor Series. Win the Royal Rumble. Trust me, if you want to see Aleister Black versus Randy Orton, this could be the way they could do it. Who knows? This could be their way of doing it. And if this is the way they're going to do it, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll be perfectly fine with Randy Orton being the champion through all of 2019 into 2020 up to SummerSlam. Up to WrestleMania, and then he puts over a young talent. I think that's fine. But first things first, they need to have Randy Orton beat Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam. Look, I've been enjoying Kofi's title run. I really have. But SummerSlam is the pay-per-view that he has to drop it. And if there's any man who is more deserving to drop that title, for Kofi Kingston to drop that title to, it's Randy Orton. He's the only legit guy left on SmackDown that could possibly beat Kofi Kingston. You people may not agree with it because, again, you're sick of Randy Orton. You're sick of him always being the top champion. He's the only guy. He's the only guy legit enough. So that's my opinions on that. We had the Iconics defend their Women's Tag Team Championships for the first time since 2 months. Since their title match against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which was not long. This fan base and WWE themselves are making it sound like that they haven't defended their titles since WrestleMania. So the Iconics took on Asuka and Kairi Sane, and this match ends via countout. The Iconics get themselves counted out to retain their titles. They lose, but they retain their titles because of the countout. and this upsets Kairi and Asuka, they beat down the champions. So they're really gonna build this up to SummerSlam. I said I was man enough to admit that I don't think they would have built this up to SummerSlam. They wouldn't keep. I didn't think they'd keep the belts on the Iconics up to SummerSlam. I thought they would probably just have them drop it here, and then just give Asuka and Kairi Sane, maybe Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, or Mandy and Sonya at SummerSlam. But it seems like they are legitimately going with the Iconics heading into SummerSlam. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the Iconics going into SummerSlam as the women's tag team champions. Yeah, and yes, I know that would be the time to take the belts off them, which I think that's fine. Which I think that is perfectly fine. But I don't want it to be just Asuka and Kairi Sane. I want them to add Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to this. Hell, even Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Make it a fatal 4-way. Make it a fatal 4-way. And then from there, you can protect the Iconics when they lose the titles. Seems fair to me. Who would I give it to? Either Bliss and Cross or Mandy and Sonya. I don't think Kairi and Asuka should really be tag team champions. To be perfectly honest, I don't think they really should be. They should be singles competitors. I'm just being honest. Asuka and Kairi should really be singles competitors. There's no reason for them to be tag team. I was fine with the idea, but I was okay with the idea. But at the same time, though, we know they're better off as singles competitors. So that's my honest opinions on that. Then we had Apollo Crews and Andrade. It was apparently because when Apollo Crews was standing up for what Kevin Owens had to say, Zelina Vega told Apollo Crews on that Shane's town hall meeting that to challenge that she laid down a challenge for Apollo, and Apollo Crews ends up defeating Andrade with a roll-up. And Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler were in the main event. I mean, how many freaking main events has Dolph Ziggler been in since this guy has come back? How many main events has this guy been in? I mean, I understand Dolph Ziggler is one of the top guys of SmackDown. But he had a brawl with The Miz. You're telling me you couldn't continue that situation? I feel like it's just so ridiculous to me. I don't understand why Dolph Ziggler is still in the main event. I felt this show to me, I felt like this had some Eric Bischoff vibe. Honestly, I'm being perfectly honest here. I thought this show had Eric Bischoff vibes to it. Because I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed SmackDown. SmackDown was good. The match, Owens and Ziggler had no ending because Shane McMahon came out with all of his goons and he prevented Kevin Owens from defeating Dolph Ziggler with the stunner, and then Kevin Owens delivered the stunner on Shane, and he ran away when all of Shane's goons came running after him. And Shane McMahon vowed to make Kevin Owens' life miserable after those two stunners. Ooh, we should really be afraid of the best in the world. We should really be afraid of Shane McMahon after being tombstoned by The Undertaker. What did I tell you guys? I told every single one of you that Shane McMahon was never gonna compete for the WWE Championship. Never! I never said he was. I made that video about Shane McMahon becoming WWE Champion. I told you guys it was a rumor, and I'm correct. It was nothing but a rumor just to spark those... It was just to spark up the community just to make them angry. They were never going to go with Shane McMahon. They only did it just to try and make the fan base upset. Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston is going to be the match for SummerSlam. And that's the way it should be. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. That's my Smackdown review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe. And I'll see you all when I do my live streams. See you then.